Now in this version of the Mooch, there's a few different sections as there are on the original record, and the first section is what we call in jazz the head, or the main theme, I guess. And after that it's different improvisations on a blues chorus. I'm not improvising any of these right now, but these were in Duke's band chances for the great soloists that he had to you know, show their stuff and improvise, and I've kind of come up with some set versions of those parts of the song. But I'll start off here with the theme and a couple of devices that I've come up with to approximate the sound of and the spirit of that band. Now they had horns that could make real long, nice notes in chords, and of course acoustic guitars notes decay as soon as you pluck it. So I had to come up with some way to kind of keep that sound, that long sustained horn note sound. And the way I did that, and it's in the first theme here, is to do this tremolo again. The song, by the way, is in the key of D minor. This version of it is anyway. Difference is that this time when I do that tremolo, I'm also continuing the bass, because this is a consistent bass part all the way through. The notes change depending on what chord you're on, but that same boom, boom, boom happens all the way through. So the first time I go through it, I just play the chord, and then this thing right down here is D minor, starts on D minor, chromatically down to, this is a D flat 9 chord. It has the same 3 notes on top of it. And this chord here, this is an A7 sharp 5 chord, or an A augmented, I guess they'd call it. And I'm keeping the bass going by placing my pinky here, because this note, this doesn't quite sound right to me. So, again, that's chromatic. That chord just slides down to D major right at the 5th fret there, D minor, sorry, right at the 5th fret there. But the second time through is when I announce the horn section here, and it's kind of hard to keep the tremolo and the steady bass going, and it took a long time to even get this far with it, but is there a good exercise to develop this technique? Yes, there is. Pick a chord and do it. Any chord will do. For instance, A7th, just to pick one at random. Pick 2 notes on the bottom and just keep this going. Again, start out slow. Try and work up your speed, and you can also play different melodies on the bottom. So, you know, it takes a while to build that up. It's kind of a physical, sort of a gymnastic thing. You know, you can gather momentum over a period of time. But anyway, that's really the device that I use to make the horn sound in this first section. So let's go to split screen now, and we'll slow it down, and well, it already is pretty slow, and we'll play that together. This next section of the Mooch is really a blues progression in F. We've been in D minor, and we're going to the relative major now of D minor, which is F major. And this is from the horn chart from, I don't know if it's written down, but this is what I gathered from the record, of the Duke Ellington record. And this chord up here is an F9. It's kind of a cool way to play it. This is, it's kind of a little jazz, mini jazz progression. 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. If you're familiar with that, I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but just kind of so you know where this is coming from. Here's F9, here's another F chord, F6 in this case. Here is G minor 7th, and to C 7th. That's where these chords are coming from. This is just a little diminished chord run here. Sometimes you can move diminished chords around and get sounds that are not really explainable theoretically, but they sound right. And you end up on an F9. We're going to, then the blues will then go to the 4 chord, which is B flat major, major 6 in this case. This is kind of a tricky move because you just got to cover a lot of ground again, this is dictated by what was on the record, but B flat 6th to B flat 6/9 up here, then to B flat minor, to B flat minor 6 up here, back down. So that's then to minor, and moving over here to an E flat 9th at the very end. And do this again. Now this is a way to get to D 7th by way of this chord, which is an A minor 7 flat 5. It's just a very simple move. And then this is G minor 7th to C 7th, G minor 7th C, and the same thing over again. We'll start the minor section in the next part. But now let's take this section we just did, go to split screen slowly, and let's play it. The next section of the Mooch is a blues progression, and this time in F minor. It's kind of unusual. There's not a whole lot of songs that have the same type of progressions in major and minor, but such is the case in this song. And I'll just run you through some of the ideas that behind this one. It's F minor 7th is the first chord. This is a C 9th, I guess. The idea of this is to get that bass line going with some chords on top of it that sound right. And I didn't arrive at this through any sort of theoretical thing. It was trial and error and by ear, so I can't really explain it to you. But what that chord sequence is. Then I go to a B flat minor. That's the 4 chord in a minor blues in F. Back to F minor. Now we're going to do a 2/5 in F minor, which is G 7th with a flat 9 in this case, to C 7th, and then G minor 7 flat 5, to C 7 sharp 5, to F minor. Now this might sound like it's getting kind of hairy to you with all these chord names and everything, but that's not really necessary that you know all that sort of stuff to play this song. I just am giving you the reasons that I play these chords and just showing off that I know the names of them, you know, big deal. But anyway, let's take a look at that section now in F minor and play that split screen. Okay, now we go from an F minor blues progression to an F major blues progression. Just like this one we did here. Only this is a memorized improv, I guess. Starting off with a F9. This is a kind of an interesting little progression. It happens a lot in jazz and swing music. Goes from the F chord to the F7th chord, only with a 7th on the bottom, to the B flat major chord with a 3rd on the bottom, to the B flat minor chord with the flat 3rd on the bottom, and back to F major with the 5th on the bottom. And you end up with this progression, or this bass line. And that's what I did in the first part of this. And to flesh it out, I'm just putting notes on top of there. This is a little move you can use, again, anytime you go between an F to a B flat, for instance. These 4 chords, F major to G minor 7th, G sharp diminished, to F major with the 3rd in the bass. Now that, you know you're going to B flat when you do that. It's very direct and focused sort of a move. And to B flat minor. Now I kind of gave up on the bass line right here and thought I'd just kind of screw around with some of these upper intervals here. Again to D7th, to G7th, and up to C7th. And I think that I also did this as a turnaround in here, and I'll show you this one kind of quick because it's a neat one. F note on the bottom, A note to B flat, to B diminished, to F with the 5th on the bass. So that's. I play that A7th because at this point is when we go back into the main theme of the song, which is in D minor, and A7th is the 5 chord in D minor, and it leads you into that sound. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this particular section in the split screen and play it together. Let's play the blues. There's a little tag that I use on this song that it would be the equivalent of, say, a horn flourish or whatever they call it, a decrescendo or something like that at the end of an Ellington arrangement. This that I use is taken from a D minor arpeggio. Actual D minor arpeggio is like this. But I'm adding a few notes here and there, and I'm kind of going back to the A7th chord for just a second, implying it rather with one note, and it comes out like this. Sorry. And then the last chord here is a D minor 6/9. 2 open strings ringing there at the end, the B and the E. So let's take a look at this ending tag now in split screen.